Trying to mug me?
Am I gonna mug you?
Is that gorgeous or what, eh?
And I believe I can run a decent marathon.
Download Veely now.
This kitchen has quite the quirk factor.
This is period.
Really bad kitchen.
This is a gut job.
I think yellow and green is the way to go.
I absolutely hate yellow and green. It's not what I had envisioned at all.
Want to turn an old broken down kitchen into a baker's fantasy? We're gonna show you how, right now. Great design comes from a winning formula. Mine is as basic as a set of building blocks. Put them together, add up the results, and you've got a sensational room. Amanda and her husband Brian love their home, but their kitchen is no life of the party.
As soon as we bought the house, we planned on renovating it right away.
But it's almost 4 years later, and we have done nothing to the kitchen.
It's so big!
It is really.
There's only 8 cabinets in total.
It's a very odd little kitchen.
This is period.
Yeah,
This is really,
I actually adore it.
it just doesn't really have any of the type of storage that they want or need.
There's definitely a need for storage.
I love to bake, but it usually takes me twice as long to actually finish cooking.
1, 2, 3, 4 doors in a kitchen that is tiny.
People can come from every point on the compass to get into this kitchen.
I know, but then what are they gonna do when they get here? There's no room for them.
There's no room to cook anything.
I think it's going to be challenging for Sarah and Tommy.
Apparently they also like to hang out in here. They're gatherers.
You can't gather in here.
I'm from Newfoundland, and having a kitchen to actually have a party is very important.
You know what this is?
It's a traveling dishwasher.
The dishwasher, you have to roll it around.
It has to come to the sink.
With the lucky bamboo.
The lucky bamboo obviously worked because Sarah Richardson is now here to fix this kitchen. So these people got lucky.
I'm very frustrated, beyond frustrated with our kitchen.
This kitchen has a total of 3 and a bit feet of counter space here, and that little bit over there. And then they've added this freestanding island. This bottle trains cats, just so you know.
What? Are they hot? Well, obviously it doesn't train them very well because they've been chewing the handle on the bottle that trains cats. Well, that is one crazy, quirky little kitchen.
What's your take? Charming or contemporary for the look?
Oh, I see it as being a little bit more like Mother Hubbard, but in a cool way, like in a youthful way. Not granny-ish, but a little bit charming. What on earth are we gonna do in terms of cabinetry when we have no wall space to put it on?
Well, we don't have a lot of linear footage to work with, but what we do have is a decent amount of vertical storage.
There's a lot of height, for sure. So that's our modus operandi. We maximize the use of every possible inch.
You got it. Here's the creative brief for this avid baker's kitchen. We're going to upgrade the appliances to make them more functional, maximize every inch of space, and balance modern features with the room's retro charm. First things first, as the cupboards get ripped out, we need to figure out how to make the most of this tiny kitchen. Okay, we've got a tricky space to tackle here. We've got less than 12 feet long by about 14 feet wide.
This is a Swiss cheese kitchen, too. A lot of openings.
Absolutely right. 2 windows and 4 doors. And that far window's too low to build anything up against it, like a new place for the sink and a permanently installed dishwasher. If we then come all the way down with a long run of cabinetry as far as we possibly can to the basement stairs, we'd be in good shape. We can create better space by turning that island into an L-shaped peninsula, going vertical by adding a second row of cupboards, and rehanging that far door to swing into the room behind, leaving room to put a pantry here. We're gonna have everything that she didn't have before.
Yeah, this is a good plan.
I like this plan. With a plan in mind, we move on to the cabinets.
I like this raised panel, and I like the shaker, but I wish it didn't have these deep grooves.
I know. But this one,
looks nice.
This one.
I like
no,
this because it looks painted. Feels painted.
Yeah, like
Right.
a bit sleeker.
Yeah.
Sleek and charming all at the same time.
More of a modern approach to a baker's kitchen.
Sure. Next, appliances. Serious enough for an avid baker, yet without dominating the space. Look at this. It's got sleek lines.
Great
Like, there's
handles.
nothing ugly about it.
You're thinking white appliances for Amanda?
I don't know, I'm just thinking. Like, it's such a small kitchen.
Have you
Would
ever
it
done
be-
white appliances?
No.
Like in your
No.
career, I don't think ever.
I don't think so. Well, no, those were white knobs on a kit. The terrific thing about white appliances is they're gonna disappear.
You can definitely get your color in other ways. We could do color on the ceiling, color on the walls, color in the backsplash, color in the accessories, color in the knobs.
Like sprinkles of color, like sprinkles for baking.
It's white appliances.
Let's go see what else they have.
It's a horse of a different color.
How about a white oven?
Yes to the white oven. It's a great looking oven.
So for a Sarah first, we're going with all white appliances. And since our client likes to chef it up, we're adding double ovens so she can bake up a feast. Now to figure out the flooring. To stay retro, I want to use a linoleum product. What about if we did like a click floor? The great thing about these is they come in strips. You'd walk in and they would go across.
15 stripes going across the floor like this, an alternating color.
So, how do we feel about these sort of colors? Like lemon, kiwi, sky blue. Make sense?
Love it.
Citrus colors and cupcake sprinkles inspire the all-white kitchen. We're going to have multicolored stripes on the floors and smaller hits of color throughout. And while all this planning is happening, our contractors have had a chance to assess how much work will be required. It's not good news.
We got to take the walls down for sure now because it's just breaking apart. It's cracking here, it's cracking on that side.
Is that expensive, what we're talking about doing?
I'd say it's about $2,500.
Okay. And if that's not bad enough, our electrician has made a discovery of his own.
But you want to hear the bad news? What I uncovered when I was just pulling some wires over in this wall over here?
Yeah.
Asbestos.
What?
Amanda and Brian's dysfunctional kitchen is becoming a baker's delight. Like sprinkles of color, like sprinkles for baking. For the first time ever, I'm going with white appliances.
Yes to the white oven.
And accenting them with citrus-inspired stripes on the floor. Perfect for Amanda's Newfoundlander kitchen parties.
Newfies like to party.
Everything was looking sweet until it all went sour.
As soon as Edwin does do the demo, he's going to find asbestos. That's my feeling. So I think you're going to have to deal with it.
And the only way you deal with it is you have to remove it.
Remove it, yes.
Professionally,
Carefully.
And the next word that comes after professionally and carefully?
expensively.
Expensively, yeah.
None of this is good news. None of this makes me feel happy. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna renovate, you have no choice but to do it right. We cannot deal with a situation where there is a hazardous material that is potentially going to cause problems in the future. I don't need that on my shoulders, so we're gonna fix it.
Never in a million years did I expect asbestos to be found in our house.
I'm glad that they found it, and I'm glad that it's removed from my kitchen now.
While that asbestos gets carefully and expensively removed, we have to keep the rest of our designs cost-effective. I have an idea to brighten up the ceilings with vintage bakery charm. Let's talk about tin ceilings.
Yes, I love tin ceilings.
Okay, so here's what I need you to help me with.
Oh my
I know, you see why I need
Wow.
some help?
This is what I call the tyranny of choice.
There are 63 different tin ceiling tile patterns that you can use.
Wow.
Any of them appeal? Do you like number 26?
26 is too Art Deco.
27.
Too Grandma.
28.
Too Georgian. I'm attracted to the slightly simpler
I
versions.
like that idea.
Right? But don't we also need the part that's like a crown molding part that goes around the edges?
I think you're looking for a cornice. Look at them all. Yes. Oh my goodness. Look at that one. There's stars.
Love it.
My stars.
Squares and stars. Let's do that.
Squares and stars. That seems really fun.
Done.
Okay.
Awesome.
Great. Squares and stars on the ceiling, and we'll need cheap vintage lamps to brighten the new work areas in the room. One for the area under the window, and 2 over the new peninsula. See, look.
Oh, these are a great deal for $225. That's a lot of fixture for that price.
Before we commit, can we just scan and make sure there's nothing else that we'd like better than this? $575. We're getting pricey over here.
Is that why I feel good over here?
That's probably why you feel very at home. and I'm starting to feel a little queasy.
You're sweating a little bit.
But our search for inexpensive light fixtures has taken a turn with Tommy's discovery of cabinet bling.
Look at these vintage handles. The wood. Look at that.
Now that's fun. How many of those are there?
Gorgeous.
Wait a second. You thinking what I'm thinking? Couldn't you give these a light sand and paint them all the color that you wanted exactly? What a great design. 30 handles at $15 a piece. That will add up quickly. If we're gonna spend $450 on the hardware,
Yeah.
I'm not sure that we're gonna have it in the budget to spend $225 each on the light fixtures. However, I saw just shades
Yes.
in a store the other day, $12.
Yeah.
We can get the fitting to turn it into a pendant for $50. So we could do $62 each times 3 pendants.
And take the money that we save on lighting and put it toward our really fabulous, beautiful hardware.
Then we have lights and amazing hardware for less than the cost of just 3 lights.
Done.
Done. Let's see what those pendant lights look like when they're all put together.
What's happening in here?
I am finishing off these lights. What do you
I
think?
remember these things. These things look awesome.
2 above the peninsula, 1 above the sink.
They're amazing.
Are you liking my vintage vibe?
Very clever, darling. That is the right kind of retro.
Back at the house, remember the window that was too low? Well, it's been raised to allow room for the new countertop, and the new window is just going in. Perfect. Now, new drywall goes up and the tin ceiling gets installed. Looking good. From a distance.
I am not pleased with the job that's been done here. What I went to see was nothing short of a dog's breakfast. These people have used the wrong tools. They're using these snips, okay? These snips are as old as my mother. They need to have a really sharp blade to cut proper miter corners. Absolutely not cool with me, not acceptable. The whole thing has to be taken down and redone.
If the asbestos wasn't bad enough, now we've got another setback. Oh well, at least the linoleum's ready to be installed.
Please tell me that's not a floor tile.
Funny, she had something else in her mind for the floor. We had decided on stripes of multiple vibrant colors.
I don't like the green and yellow.
How can you dislike that color of yellow and green?
I hate it.
Wow, the 4-letter H word.
So now what do I do? It's about time this tiny kitchen
There's no room to cook anything.
became a baker's paradise.
I love to cook and bake.
But we've been floored by our multicolored tile choice.
I hate it.
She hates the green and yellow stripe in the floor.
See, I think it was such a happy solution. Like, I kind of still want to go with it. I think it's the right solution.
It is a pretty permanent element, the floor.
And if she still can't stand it once we're all done, the only way to change it is to rip out the entire kitchen?
Yeah, go back to renovating square one.
Like, I think she's wrong. Honestly, I think yellow and green is the way to go, but maybe we have to tame it down. I'll give up yellow and green, but I won't give up the whole concept.
Okay, it's the right choice.
So the striped floor stays, but we'll tone down the yellow and replace the green stripe with this neutral blue shade. And that badly installed tin cornice gets reinstalled by a pro, so it looks just right. Meanwhile, Tommy's off to find tile for the backsplash, while I check out progress at the house. It's just that we only have 12 inches here for overhang. Like, if given the choice, I would go for 14 inches of overhang.
I'm absolutely crazy about these miniature penny rounds. I call them confetti dots because they're so exuberant. They're almost like sprinkles on a cupcake. They have exactly the right color scheme for us. They're not the most inexpensive tile, but we only have 1 run of Backsplash in this kitchen. They are the perfect thing, and I know that Sarah's gonna love these. This is it.
Oh, so Tommy thinks he knows me so well, Finally, we're moving forward. Let's see how the counter and Tommy's backsplash look together. I have a counter.
I have a Backsplash.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking I want to use this counter because it's mostly recycled material. And what I like about it is it brings in a bit of color. Like, there's a sort of fun factor to this. It's not as serious, right? Like, if you go with stone countertops, like, let's say, I know this is actually a mosaic, but let's say this stone is a counter. Like, this is trying to be so serious.
Very serious.
And so beautiful. This is more like, hey, we're having a party.
This is great looking and not so fancy.
How do you feel about it with our floor?
Brilliant. It's perfect.
Right? Nice tones, cool tones.
It's absolutely perfect.
Do you want to put your backsplash with my counter?
Why not?
Okay, so we've got a happy backsplash.
Happy splash.
And a counter that's like a party.
Yes.
As the Newfoundlander kitchen party comes together, we send Allie from our design team to find seating for the new peninsula we're building.
Sarah wanted 2 vintage stools. They need to be 24 inches high. They need a little bit of work, but they are $35 for the pair. Unheard of. So we can afford to get them fixed up.
The all-white kitchen cabinets start to take shape. And what does a baker's kitchen need? Tableware and baking implements. So Tommy and I have fun with retro-inspired shopping. Oh, look at this color blocking. What fun. Measuring spoons. Baker's delight.
Definitely the right vibe.
You juice, and then you pour.
Oh, that is clever. Do we need one of those?
We almost bought it. Because I almost broke it.
This has the right kind of energy. That feels a little bit like
You want
pottery
this?
studio, crafty, whereas this is more kind of like 1950s. Could be a little bit more thought.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
We want to infuse color in more than just the floors and the kitchenware. So we're stretching and framing a piece of fabric to create a colorful custom bulletin board. And our cabinet hardware has been painted and is ready to be installed. And all we did was paint the little wooden posts. So now it ties in with our backsplash, it goes with our floor, it goes with our counters. It just goes. That means this kitchen is almost ready for some baking. Let's hope it passes the test with Amanda and Brian. We're bringing this kitchen out of the dark ages.
That is one crazy, quirky little kitchen.
And despite our change in floor tile color,
I'll give up yellow and green, but I won't give up the whole concept.
Okay.
our clients aren't convinced.
I'm trying to envision it all together.
I'm gonna have to see it in place in order to really appreciate what it can do for our kitchen.
What a charming little blackboard.
If you want to get the best results out of your kitchen and you're renovating, you need to take a look at your existing layout, and then you need to be prepared to do this. Every single appliance moved from where it started out, and that has allowed us to get the best layout possible.
Amanda's kitchen has gone from dark and depressing to light and bright.
It just took my breath away. Really took my breath away.
It was unbelievable.
We decided to change out the original window to get maximum counter space in this kitchen. By raising the height of the windowsill by about 12 inches, we were able to get a continuous run of countertop that goes all around the exterior walls. In effect, we got almost 5 feet of extra counter surface. Making the most of a small kitchen is about making the most of all of the vertical height available to you. We've added a pantry where absolutely no storage existed before. We've tucked it under counters above the refrigerator. I mean, you name it, this place is kitted out with storage. And instead of just adding a peninsula that comes straight out from the wall, we decided to give it a little jog. What does that extra jog do? Well, it adds extra counter space and extra storage and creates the breakfast bar. It's a win-win-win situation.
When you have a tiny space and an all-white approach to cabinetry and appliances, you need something to provide a little bit of visual interest.
Choose an interesting backsplash. In this case, ours has shades of blue and green and yellow. And then a great place to inject color is on the walls because that's a super easy element to change. Lastly, we've got our floors, which are 5 different bands of striped colors.
I love the gas stove. I love the 2 ovens. I love how much storage we have now. I love how it's functional. I love the floors.
I'm glad she loves the floors.
My favorite thing in the room, hands down, is that floor.
This type of floor would have often been used around the time that this house was built. And that's what I like. I like to have a bit of a nod to the past. That's also why I wanted to install the tin ceiling, because I think that the tin ceiling adds charm, it adds character, it adds pattern on the ceiling in a place where you wouldn't always expect to find it.
Oh my God, it is so beautiful.
This kitchen is neither modern nor traditional. It's a hybrid of both. We started out with contemporary appliances and cabinetry.
Our hardware looked so stunning when we first found it, but Sarah had this notion of painting it so that it worked with our color scheme, and that was a stroke of added pleasure and visual interest and total genius.
I'm really looking forward to having a big Newfie party. So I'm having all my friends over and we're having a breaking her in party.
It is my sincere hope that Amanda will bake in good health and happiness, and that she will send some of those baked goods here to our office.
Sarah and Tommy have given me my dream kitchen 100%, hands down.
I hope this kitchen will show you that it's about what you do with the space, and it's how you make that space work for you that can enable you to have your dream kitchen right where you are.
What do you suppose these things mean?
That's your heating a bowl of soup. Is that symbol?
Oh, that's pills.
That's it's like, see, I needed to ask you because I was like, that looks like, have you taken your vitamins? Is this a reminder?
That's just if you've already
No,
taken...
no, that's number of pieces, number of portions.
No, that's just if you've taken your prescription meds already. The display screen gets bigger so you can read it through your haze and fog.
Come on.
Yeah, no, that's Percocet right there. I'll tell you right now. I recognize that anywhere.